Rockstar is once again staking its claim to the throne as king of the open world game. After making itself a household name through the Grand Theft Auto series, the developer has turned its sights on the Wild West. The result is Red Dead Redemption, a game that is many things but will likely be remembered as a huge leap forward and the best Western to hit the video game scene yet. Red Dead Redemption puts you in the shoes of John Marston, a former outlaw trying to go straight while his past simply won't let him. It's a setup that is almost cliche, but it's only a setup. Along the way, you'll run into a fantastic cast of characters as you travel all over this massive sandbox that straddles the Mexican border.
There must be a name for this.
An impasse, sir. An impasse. We could all die, here and now.
Though the setting has changed, it's quite easy to see Rockstar's heritage at work here. The presentation will be familiar to anybody who has played a GTA game, from the extended, conversation-driven rides en route to the next mission, straight down to the blips on the minimap. But this is not simply Grand Theft Auto in the Wild West. The layout of the game has been expanded and adapted to the locale, and the result is a completely immersive experience packed with things to do and places to explore. The game engine has been updated to meet the new challenges of the Western setting, and what you get is a game that looks phenomenal in motion. Horses look incredible, and when you have a tied-up victim being dragged in tow, it looks almost too realistic. You'll be compelled to explore every last bit of this gorgeous environment. A few minor hiccups and bugs are the small price to pay for one of the best-looking games around, both artistically and technically. Rockstar nailed the look, lighting, and animation so perfectly that simply riding across the countryside is enough to keep you entertained. It doesn't hurt that the audio quality matches the look. The voice acting here is top-notch, and the soundtrack is classically Western.
Hey, Mr. Marston. How you keeping, sir?
Just fine, thank you. And you?
Oh, very well, sir. Thank God my wife died.
And lest you think there's not much more than a bunch of rocks and cacti to see, know that there's so much more to find and shoot. Just about anything you can imagine doing in the Wild West is in Red Dead Redemption. From the simple cowboy activities like cattle herding and breaking Mustangs, to massive fort assaults and tracking down buried treasure, it's all here. There's a main quest filled with interesting characters and intriguing missions that will probably take you 20 or so hours to complete, but there are so many distractions that you'll likely find it hard to focus on just one thing. This is a game that is so big and filled with side quests, missions, and little things to do that I wouldn't even try to list them all for fear of leaving something cool out. Rockstar leaves the question of morals up to you, so you'll have to decide whether you're going to be a hero that saves every damsel in distress, or the type that tends towards more evil things.
We're in a bit of a rush!
There's fame and fortune in it for you no matter which path you take. There's a ton to do, but none of that would matter much if it wasn't fun to play. Well, don't worry. Once you get the hang of the sometimes touchy horse controls, you'll find a smooth and exhilarating ride. There's a great variety of guns and explosives, and all of them are just waiting for you to switch on the Deadeye slow-mo effect. I don't know what's better, winning a duel or watching a bandit get his boot caught in a stirrup after getting blasted from his mount. The single-player game is more than enough to be worth the price of admission, but it's only the beginning. The game continues online in a 16-player test of your trigger finger. The usual suspects are here with team and free-for-all shootouts as well as a capture-the-flag style game, and they're a decent distraction. The star of the show is what's called free roam. This takes the concept of a multiplayer lobby to the next level. Form up a posse and you can enter adversarial games, or you can simply roam the entire countryside of the single-player game, take part in ambient challenges like hunting, or assault gang hideouts en masse. All the while, you'll be leveling up and unlocking new character models, modes, and horses to ride. There's enough here to be a separate game all over again, and it's all a ton of fun. There's an attention to detail here that you just don't see too often in games of this scope. Despite a few visual hiccups and the occasional bug, this is one of the best and most complete experiences around. Whether you're looking for a great Western story, or you simply want to posse up and ride wild across the vast countryside, there's something here to love. For much more on Red Dead Redemption, including a full written review, head to IGN.com.